Hey everyone, I was creating a St. Patrick's Day design recently, this one right here, and I wanted to reverse it. So when I did that, the blacks and the whites didn't look exactly right. So I found out a technique, I did this technique where the whites actually are whiter and the darks are darker, and so it actually looks great instead of the reverse negative version that I showed earlier. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. It's not hard to do in Affinity Designer, and I think it really helps with your design so that it doesn't look like a negative thing. It actually looks like the right way that the illustration is supposed to be. So let's get into Affinity Designer right now, and I'll show you this reverse technique. All right, so here I am in Affinity Designer 2, and you can see this is what I made. I have a distressed texture on these, so that's why it looks a little rough here. I'm not going to show you how to do that. You can do that after the fact. So I just dragged down one of them here, and you see that this doesn't have the distressed effect, but it has this. If I double click on it or look at the panels here, this is my group, the layers here, sorry. And this is the group right here that we want to keep intact. So you can see that the dark shades and the dark outline is what we want, because if we do the opposite, let me move this here. This is what most people typically do, and I've done this before as well. I'm going to make the background, instead of transparent, I'll make the background dark here. And then most of us, what we do is we take this and we just turn this white, right? And that works for the text, but it doesn't work for this graphic. And you don't see why. The outline is white, where the beard looks black and the shades look white. So it just looks like a negative version of what it's supposed to be. And really that doesn't look really well. It just doesn't look like this, right? Because it's the opposite, and we don't live in this negative world here. So I'm going to show you how to change that. So first things first, we're going to copy this so you can see both of them. Next thing is real easy. I'm going to just take my pen tool here. Where is it? There it is. And I'm just going to draw on top of this. So I don't know why it selected that. Let's do this again. Okay, so pen tool here. And I'm just going to trace, you can see on the outline, just inside this white. So what I'm going to do is just going to fill in the parts that aren't white. And you'll see what I'm doing here. Now, if you can't see what you're doing after this, you may want to just take this down. It will be white eventually, but we don't need the color on here right away. So I'm going to come in here, just go in and just the outside. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as we're filling the whole thing with white is what's going to happen. And I can just come in around here. You might be able to do this with a pencil tool as well. If you have an iPad, it might be faster. I just like the pen tool because I'm more used to it. But some people with really good hands, or if you have an actual pencil on the iPad, that might be better. So you can see I made it like that, and then I can come in here and fill that with white. So now this whole thing is white, right? So I'm gonna put this right here. By default it went above it, but I'm gonna put it under here so you can see, oh, it's in this group here now. So if I open my group here, this is the one that was behind. So I'm gonna move my curve right here. And I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna hit Command J on this one, because we're gonna need two of these. So we're gonna need this one and the one that we just made the curve, and we're gonna combine them together, and we can use this add right here, or you can just group it. Either way works. I'm gonna hit add so that you can see that it's one thing, one curve. So now that is one thing. So I'm gonna undo so you can see that. Now that's gonna go in the back, and this will go in the front, this group in the front. Now we can change this. We changed it to white right here, but if we changed it to black now, let's do this. Now it's the right colors, but you can see it kind of gets lost, and that's why we need this one in the back. We need the white in the back to show through, but we also need a white outline around it. And what's nice about Affinity Designer is you can just click this stroke, make it white, and then we can just make the stroke as big as we need to. You'll see right there. And I'm kind of eyeballing it to match the line right here, the width. So in my case, I think this 11 would work. even up to 19, but there's a point where it's just too big, right? So you don't want it so small like this. I mean, that could work, but you want it to kind of have the same width as some of these lines. So I'm gonna stop at, I said 11. Yeah, 11 looks great. So let's do that. Now the next thing we're gonna need to do though is if it's not on a black t-shirt, so let me show you what happened. Black, and I'll change this to a green t-shirt next. You'll notice the black, this black right here, is still on here. So although it's the right color like this, it's not green, and we're not using the shirt to show through because it's always going to be black. If I change it to green or dark green, well, hold on, green or dark green or gray or whatever, it's still going to be black. So what I want to do is I want to show the color, knock out this black over the white, and that's also really easy to do in Affinity Designer. So I'm going to click these two. You see these two in the group, the black one right here and this white one that we just made behind it, and I'm going to group these two together. Now once I do that, I can use the feature right here for erase. So I have the top one, which is black, and I'm going to erase it from the background, which is white. And I can just easily do this. It says pass through, but instead I'm going to hit erase. And you notice here now we're showing the green through the white because instead of the black, because we use that erase feature. And if I change the color of this shirt, let's say I want to do it like that, or this color, that color, it shows through. So any dark colored t-shirt, I think this would work. And so that's the easy hack. You can look at it side by side. This actually makes more sense than this. And I think this will get you more sales because it's something that we relate to instead of this in the real world. We don't have those negative looking person, right? With the white instead of black. So try this out. You can do this for any illustration that has this vintage illustration which is really popular right now with the animals and the raccoons and the frogs and all of that. It's going to be the same thing with these vintage illustrations. You're going to want to make sure that the darks are dark and the whites are whites. Usually it's a black and white illustration or a dark blue illustration, a line art, and it should look more like this. So you can add that white outline, fill it, add the white outline so that you can see the dark through it. So pretty easy hack. I like it better. I think most people who are going to buy t-shirts are going to like this better, and it gives you two designs, right? You have the one that works on a light t-shirt, this one, and the one that works on a dark t-shirt, this one, and I think it just works well and it doesn't take that much longer. You can see I did it in just a few minutes and the results are way better than just trying to reverse it. So you can't do this, as far as I know, in Canva or Kiddo or any of those. You're gonna need a graphics app. You could do this in Illustrator, probably Inkscape, probably Photoshop, Photo P, to do this, because you're going to need to also add that outline and fill the thing and then be able to knock it out. So it's not going to be exactly the same as easy. I love Affinity Designer because it's so easy to just erase that and it's still here. Like if I need it again, I didn't actually knock it out. I just used the erase tool to do it. So have fun with this. Use this on all your vintage illustration designs and make sure to have two, one that works on light t-shirts and one that works on a dark one. So there you go. That's the easy technique on how to reverse, the correct way to reverse your t-shirt designs using those vintage illustrations, which are really popular right now. If you're looking for ways to kind of lay out those vintage illustrations, I have this video right here with 25 different layouts with examples. So watch that video there on how you can get the text and the graphic to kind of work really well together, especially if you're stuck. I think that's an easy way to get the alignment right and everything for your t-shirt design. Hopefully this was really helpful for you. Thanks again for watching, and as always guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.